this meeting to order. Regular meeting of the City Commission of Rio Grande City. It is Wednesday, April the 6th, 2022. It's 5:33 p.m. and we're in Commission Chambers, City Hall, 55332 East US Highway 83, here in Suite A, Rio Grande City, Texas. At this time, we'll have the invocation by Commissioner Escobedo, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Olivares.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, we thank you for this day and for all the blessings that you have given us, dear Lord. We ask that you give each and one of us the hope, the love, the peace in our hearts so we might continue moving forward. And we ask that you continue giving that prosperity in this community of the great city of Rio Grande. We ask that you protect all of the employees and everybody that works so hard in this city. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner Escobedo, Commissioner Olivares. This time we'll have roll call and finding of quorum. Ms. Garza,
Mayor Villarreal,
present.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez,
Here.
Commissioner Flores, present. Commissioner Olivares,
Here.
Commissioner Escobedo.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Have item 1C, public forum. Do we have anyone signed up for public forum?
Yes, sir. Right now with this in the Zoom call, we have Mr. Jake Peña. He signed up for a public forum. Mr. Peña, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, Bobby.
Yes.
Mr. Peña, hi. You have 5 minutes, Mr. Peña.
Look at me, oh, man.
We have Mr. Peña. We have also Mrs. Martinez. She's also joining in the same topic as Mr. Peña.
Okay. Mr. Peña, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I represent 3 different groups. If I may, I request 5 minutes for each group, though I don't think I'm going to take 15 minutes.
Hope not. Go ahead, Mr.
Mayor
Peña.
Deputy City Manager Noe Castillo, wonderful commission. Thank you first and foremost for this opportunity to be heard on 3 separate matters in this public forum, and each matter relates to a separate group of neighborhood residents, and I've been designated as a spokesperson for each of those groups. I don't anticipate taking more than 5 to 10 minutes of your time this evening because my groups intend that this discussion be introductory, but at the same time it's a little bit of an exercise for the folks in my group because a lot of these meetings tend to be verbally punitive from the community. And because a lot of people think that the city commission is aware of issues that are kind of plaguing its citizens, when in reality, folks don't use the proper vehicle to actually convey the message to the city commission, which is why, we want to show that public forum is really for this. And so the very first message that we want to convey, and if I could, Mr. Mayor and City Commission, show my screen, is that possible?
Yeah, you
Sure.
can. Let me show.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to go and show my screen shortly. Here you go.
Hold on. Let me make you a host to see if you can.
There you go. I'm the host now.
Go ahead and.
What did y'all do? Okay. All right, here you go. Fantastic. All right, could you see my screen clearly?
Yes. Yes.
All right, fantastic. So the very first group of folks that I'm representing here, and just for demonstrative evidence, or really for just to kind of illustrate, this is North Fairgrounds Road. You're going to see up here the Villa de Escandón apartments. That's where we have a lot of retirees that live. And then we got Roque Guerra right here on the lower right-hand corner of the screen. And so this project that we came to you was for speed bumps along West Roosevelt Street. And I'm here on behalf of the Mendozas and the Barrientos. They reside at the entrance of Roosevelt, turning off a fairground. Also, the Peñas, not related to me. They reside next door to them. My family, the Olivares family, formerly the Filiberto Olivares household, some of them may actually be present on Zoom here. I know we've got some groups that are in here together. Mr. Hector Garza, who lives across the street from me, and the Banda family's parents and daughters, who reside across from each other also on Roosevelt, they all extend a very warm embrace and a thank you to the commission, to Director Hector Barrera, Director Gilbert Milan, and Director Frank Eguia, and everyone else in their departments for making this installation. And so this is the installation we're talking about. It was a couple of speed bumps that were placed along the road. Those 2 speed bumps made a world of difference for these folks. Everybody's extremely happy, and they're inviting the city PR department to go and speak with them and interview them if necessary, so they can talk about how wonderful the developments and installations, how it's worked for them. And so that brings me to the second group of citizens, and the second group is what we call the Frank Doino Street group, and they have a very similar issue to what the Roosevelt group had. And that little arrow right there, what I'm going to show you is a clip of footage that's basically facing north. And here's the clip. We actually have evidence. It's the same issue we had at Roosevelt has migrated now to this particular street. Here's the clip for the city's just kind of observation. For the record, I think those are racing cams. And so for the city's consideration, we just like to point out, this is a normal occurrence up and down that street. That truck is not from the neighborhood, but it's the same issue that we faced. And so this particular group, the Frank Dono group, is also asking for the placement of 2, preferably 3 speed bumps along their street to combat the same situation. And so that brings me to the final group, City Commission, if I could. Are you all able to hear me there?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. All right, so this is the third and final group, and these citizens here, they have a very different situation. And so there's a red line that kind of stretches up over here to the right, in between North Fairgrounds Road and North Lincoln Street, and we have some of these group members also present. I don't know if the individual who's present there today is also present for this particular group. We call it the no-name group. We don't mean that disrespectfully, but we'll show the commission what the situation is here. I'm going to zoom into that particular area, and the commission may note this is the area where we got some of that new development near Caro's restaurant. You've got about $2 million in new residential taxable construction that's popping up around Seguin Loop. It's looking fantastic. You've also got along West Canales Street to the north, you've got that, I guess it's a premises, it's a building that was purchased by the city for the Boys and Girls Club. And so that's more or less where this situation kind of starts. And so I've got a little clip, a little footage of kind of me driving in my golf cart through Canales Street, kind of turning down this no-name road, and just to kind of show the commission, that's a pipe showing some of the development there along North Canales Street. And so we're driving up north on Canales Street. To the right is where the Boys and Girls Club facility is, right there. And then you'll kind of see right in here, turning in, you'll see all these houses that are front facing. You see the fronts of these houses that are facing this kind of alleyway. And throughout the years, and I'm familiar with one of these particular houses. It's a house that belongs to my great grandmother. But if you drive along this little neighborhood alleyway, you have a situation where folks kind of built their houses along the alleyway. They pay trash, they pay taxes, but they have issues with things like 911. I think I'm done sharing my screen here. I'm going to take this off if I could, yeah. And so they have issues with things like 911, not having an address, other issues when it comes to like making payments to the city department. And so what they'd like is they'd like some clarification, but more than anything, they want to name the city. And maybe come up with a name or some type of a lane where they can make that alleyway. And it's only half the alleyway, I believe, because if you travel further south, the other houses, the back ends of the house are the ones that are facing the alley. But at the entrance, I mean, that's their front yards. And so they want addresses and they want a city name. And they've asked me to approach the commission to resolve that particular issue. And so I've noted, I know that there are some here with us today. I could certainly follow up with the issue, but I guess that would conclude my introduction to that particular problem, and I'm available to provide any information necessary And again, thank you so much to the City Commission for lending an ear. I don't know if anybody else is present in the audience to speak on the same issue.
So, Mr. Peña, on that, well, actually, so it is an alleyway, and at this point, they don't have any other access to their houses besides that alleyway?
That is correct, Mayor. It's really interesting because if you actually go to what would be their backyards are actually houses that are facing North Fairgrounds. So those houses already have their own addresses. I guess I would think that maybe at one point in time, folks sold their backyards to other folks, and they placed their houses facing the alleys, and it just kind of morphed into the situation that it is now.
And how many houses are being affected by this?
On video, there were 4. I think if you go in there, there's about 6 to 8, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Are there any folks here from those houses? Yes?
Yes, sir. My name is Maria Martinez. Thank you all for receiving us. Actually, it's been 3 years. This is Maria Martinez. I'm actually the one that lives in my great-grandma's house, which is 120 years old. And I believe this city became a city when?
93.
Okay, so why were we not counted? The house has been there for 125 years exactly. So we pay taxes too. I've spoken to Mr. Milan, and he knows it, for the past 3 years in the same situation that we need an address. I've had issues with my mom having cancer, with the issues not getting the ambulance in because we don't have a particular address. I just have to say between Lincoln and Fairground, between Lincoln and Fairground. So it's been this past 2 years. I don't know if you've heard about our robberies in our area for the past 3 years. I have pictures of our hotshot truck, business truck that was broken in. By the time the people got in there, the police, it was like, it's kind of difficult. By now, they already know where to go because we've had so many robberies in that area. So we just go between Lincoln and Fairground by the Mexicana, okay? So it's kind of, I know I speak in behalf of my neighbors that we've been with these robberies and our addresses. It's been quite a struggle. And Mr. Milan here is right here, and he can testify to that I've been trying, and I've been sending him emails on this situation that I need an address. We need an address.
How is your property registered at the county, Miss? Is it registered as a plat? I mean, how is it?
Portion.
Portion. A portion.
There's, I believe, Diego Garcia portion or something like that.
How about the statement that you get from the appraisal district? Is there an address on that?
Yes, I have them here with me, those taxes, and I have my sister's taxes, which is like 3 houses down.
But like, what is on, what is
It
on
says
there?
Porción 78, or Diego Garcia porción, something like that. So it's, my sister receives her mail in the front with my madrina's house, which is Crisanta Gonzalez, that works with the Pastoral District. Okay, I receive my mail, which they gave me an address of 619 Fairground Road. Okay, my mailing address, which if you look it up, it doesn't exist. Okay, my electric bill comes in 1414 West 3rd, which is supposedly my physical address, which belongs to the Lunds, which was Richard Lund. It belongs to the house that was Roy Lund's house. My water bill is in 621 Fairground Road, which belongs to the other house of Petra Lund, and my physical address 619. So you can believe all this thing, going on. I mean, I need an address here. We need that either street be named, which we would like to be named Cleo, which was my grandma's name, under her name, which she's lived there for 94 years, okay? So.
And just to be clear, that's not something we're gonna say we're gonna do.
Yeah, I understand.
Just to be clear.
I understand, as long as it's recognized like the street across. Why did they name the street across? Because they did that thing for the Boys and Girls Club. It's on the other street. You just cross the West Canales Street, and the Boys Club is right there.
Okay,
So they're
just to
on
be
an alley
clear,
too.
Mr. Peña, so by naming a street, would that solve the issue? Because it sounds like you have a lot more than just naming a street, though.
No, we have a 911, which we can't get a police officer, an ambulance there quickly, because we don't have an address. We don't have a physical address at all.
Okay.
That's the problem. That's what I've been talking to Mr. Milan. I just need an address. That's Mr. Corona went in and said, ma'am, what is it you need? It's like, you have an address, right? If you call the police right now and you tell them that they're robbing your house, or they're burglaring your house, I'm sorry, you give them your name and they get to you, right? Well, I don't have to flag you down like I did right now. I had to go all the way to West Canales Street and flag him down, hey, I'm over here.
What has
That's
the
what I
post
need.
office said about this, by the way?
I already spoke to the post office, and the post office, says he has no issues. He says, I don't know why they issued you 619 Fairground Road if you're in, I don't know, believe they give opposite or even numbers or something like that. Your house doesn't even exist on the map. Well,
Okay, when you say somebody issued, who issued it? The
that
619?
at the city, the Rio Grande City, when you were before at that other building where the police station is at, somebody there issued it out to me. It wasn't Mr. Milando. I don't know who it was back then.
Okay.
But it didn't, when I went back to the post office and Mr. Milan, we do not exist on the map. We didn't exist on the map, so I don't know from where he got that address.
Mr. Milan, do you have anything on this, Mr. Milan? Just for clarification.
Yes, if I may, Mr. Peña, and she's correct also. Back in the day, I personally known the families there. They've been there since, forever. And like Mr. Peña said, probably what happened back in the day, not probably, what happened back in the day, they sold their backyards. It is illegal now to do that type of transaction for model subdivision rules. So a quick solve would be, have we had names and alleys? We had a couple in town. We have historical names. We have like Happy Alley or Wimpy Alley in town. So it is possible to solve the issue because obviously she already has a house there that has been there forever. So it is possible, and then she would have a total different address. Across the street, like you said, there's a street and even an alley name. I don't know how long it's been, but it is an option that can be done.
Okay.
An option that has not been done for the past 3 years, like I told him, and I have emails from 2019 that I've emailed to him. I'm sorry, like I told him Milan right now, I had to bring this up, but it's an issue that has not been resolved in the past 3 years.
Well,
So
it
that's why
hasn't resolved in more than a decade. Well, how many decades, man? Not just 3 years. You
Okay.
said he's been there for
Yes.
120 years, you said?
Well, my grandma was the one that lived
Right.
there, right?
So it's
my
not just the
grandma was-
last 3 years, 120
All in the
years
past 3
because
years.
of porciones and whatnot. But at this point, that's something we can take on. So Mr. Peña, anything else before we conclude here?
I have something else. The Mexicana on the corner. We spoke to Milan also about that. The store that is on that corner. We're having a lot of issues because we can't get down. We can't get out of our alley or out of the street because of that store.
Because of the drive-through?
The store that's right there next to our houses. It's police reports. I know for a fact there's about 10 police reports. In one of the police reports, there's a gun that was taken out because we wanted to, Susana wanted to get into the alley to our houses, and one of the gentlemen there pointed a gun out to her because he thought that she was crossing, the line that they had because it goes all around the street. So we had asked Mr. Milan for them to talk to them, so they did put a sign up. But that sign is like they don't pay attention to it. So what we wanted was a city sign or something because the police were there. They were trying, they said, well, we can't issue them any citations because the city has not put up anything here. Yet Mr. Milan did send people, city police, but they would just tell them to move out, move out, move out. But that's not the point. I mean, we need the alley to be clear so that we can pass through. Because that store is always the lines. I don't know if you've seen them, Mr. Olivares?
Yes.
They're all the way to the street.
I've
And we
seen.
can't get out. And then we try to get out and those people bring guns out at us because they're either drunk or, whatever they're doing. So that we want a sign by the city pulled there stating that they cannot, the street, the one that goes like that, because there's another one that comes this way, which belongs to Mr. Lund, that's a private property. That gentleman is paying Mr. Lund so that the cars can go through there, which we have no problem, right? But we want our alley to be clear, the street that goes all the way out. Or for y'all to put a sign from the city that they're gonna be fined so that they can listen or something, not from the store, but from the city itself, for them to clear the road. So we can go through.
So Mayor, in closing, I want to thank y'all. And I promise y'all, Maggie's a lot nicer without a microphone in front of her. But I got to tell you, this is the first time for the record it's ever been brought up in public forum. And I just want to make that clear to Maggie. That's probably one of the big reasons. And I have faith in this commission. We all have faith. And thank y'all so much for y'all's time. And we'll provide further information.
Thank you, Mr. Peña.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you. Did anyone else sign up for public forum?
No, sir.
This time we move on to item 1D, which is Proclamation Autism Awareness Month. And that proclamation, by the way, was, I read that proclamation this last Saturday. we had an Autism Awareness Month event here at the kiosk, and it was well attended. And thank you to Mr. and Ms. Martin for putting that together, along with multiple families that were at the event. There was music, and at the proclamation, there were bikes that were gifted, and it was very well attended. So again, to the Martin family, to our Main Street program as well, part of that too, and all the volunteers that helped out. It was an excellent event, and the proclamation was read. And of course, it's month of April, Autism Awareness, and it's really autism acceptance. It's what the transitioning is now to, not just awareness, but acceptance of autism and some of the struggles that individuals might go through. But the point of it is to make sure that all the citizens of Rio Grande City, regardless of ability or background, are able to live lives with opportunities and reach their greatest potential. It was, again, excellent event. So Mr. and Ms. Martin, wherever you're at, if you've ever seen us, or if you are watching us today, thank you so much for your time, effort, dedication, commitment. And to all the parents that were there too, and family, and members of the community that were there, thank you so much for being part of this effort here in Rio Grande City. Anything else, commissioners, y'all would like to add to that?
No. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Well
sir.
said.
Next item is item 1E, departmental reports.
Mayor, excuse me, I don't have anything at this moment unless we missed something with one of the department heads, if they want to give a report. Anybody has anything?
Here's your chance. Any directors want to give us the latest and greatest news, or anything that's not in your reports that you would like to report on, or just comment or gloat about, which is excellent, by the way. As of late, we've been doing a lot of gloating, which is excellent, by the way, because we have so much going on and so much positive events and projects and wonderful tasks. And today, by the way, I was a Catholic radio during the lunch period and mentioned all the wonderful things that Rio Grande City is going through, and of course the department heads, of course, could not help but mention Main Street and library and all the security and safety and projects and historic, and I mean, there's just so many wonderful things happening here. Rio Grande City, is hard to summarize them in just a short few minutes, but excellent, cannot say that enough. And I know I repeat myself every time we are here on a monthly basis, but it's just exciting to be part of all this growth and prosperity that we're experiencing. And the thing is that there's so much more. There's still so much more to come, so can't wait. Yes, cannot wait for everything that's happening, and excellent. So thank you to all the staff, directors, for your work. Appreciate it. Moving on to consent agenda. Was there anything specific on?
Yes, you can go ahead and make a motion for A and B, because those are the minutes, and then
We can
C
take-
and D have to be separate.
Okay, so I guess starting with that, if we can consider items 2A and 2B at this time.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve items 2A and 2B.
Okay, we have a motion to approve items 2A and 2B by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Before we continue on there, I know if no one objects, I would like to move item, which was the item on the
It's a city
audit?
manager report.
What
Yeah.
is the city?
Under the city manager's report, is there
It
specific,
is
okay,
item
6A, for us to look at 6A at this time, if no objection, so we can have Mr. Hernandez.
Good evening,
No
Mayor
objections?
Commissioners.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Good evening, Mayor Commissioners. Again, this year our audit was finalized on time. I want to thank Mr. Hernandez. He's on Zoom tonight. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us because he was feeling under the weather since this weekend, but he's able to join us through Zoom, and he'll be able to tell us more about our audit. Again, I think it was a very good year for us, but he'll let you know more on the details. So, Mr. Hernandez, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you all hear me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
Hello, Mr. Hernandez. Hi, good evening.
Hello, hello, Mayor. Would you like for me to share the screen? I know that everybody has a book.
Let me go ahead and,
Sure.
If it's,
let me go ahead and make you presenter. Right here.
It's on UCSA.
if you would like for me to share, I'm available. Oh, you're passing out the book, okay. Once you get a book, and you'll go to page 17.
Thank you.
Actually, it's page 16 and 17, but apparently page 16 did not print, but go to page 17. And we'll be starting on page 16 once you get your book.
They've got the book.
Okay, would you like for me to share the screen, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay. As soon as the host will allow me, I can share the screen.
I already made you host, so you should be able to.
Okay, here it is right here. Everybody can see this, I hope. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to start. Please interrupt me if you're not able to see or hear, please. This is your statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances for your governmental funds. Again, this is for the year ended September 30, 2021. I'm going to cover the general fund. Total revenues were $7,293,431. As you move down, the total expenditures were $7,725,694. So that means that expenditures exceeded revenues by negative $432,263. However, you had other sources coming in and uses giving you an increase of an additional $972,602, giving you a net change in your fund balance, and that's going to increase by $540,339. You started with a fund balance of $2,095,586, another increase of $90,886, which resulted from a prior period adjustment that was made. So your ending fund balance is $2,726,811. Any questions on the general fund?
Yo, excellent number.
That is a good number, Mayor. Again, a good, healthy increase of almost $500,000. And now you're at $2.7 million solely for the general fund. Few columns to the right, I do want to point out that the debt service did end up at a negative $102,000. However, we contacted your financial advisor, and together with the District on 2, they were able to project that for this next following year, there'll be sufficient monies to service your current year debt, including the taxes that will be coming in. You will have sufficient monies to service your debt for 2022. And I just want to point that out. Any questions?
No.
If not, let's jump real quickly to pages 21 and 22, if you will. And here, 21 and 22 is your statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund net position for proprietary funds. This is your water, sewer, and sanitation funds. Here again, total revenues, $8,378,449. Total expenses are going to appear on the following page at the very top. And those were $4,245,808. So your revenues exceeded expenditures by $4,132,641. You had some non-operating expenses of a negative $558,048. So, and you had an additional transfers giving you a net change, which is an increase of $3,518,537. This certainly is a significant increase, Mayor, for the proprietary fund. You started with $17,922,713, and you ended with $21,433,032. This is a very good result of $3.5 million increase. Excellent work. Any questions?
No, but just a comment to the commission, to the staff, excellent work. Can't say enough when you're looking at that type of positive change of $3.5 million. Excellent work. So again, to the commission, to the staff, to everyone, just commenting on that. Go ahead, Mr. Long.
Yes, sir. The remainder of the report, I have no plans to cover. I just wanted to cover the two main operating funds. No findings in the audit, and auditor's opinion is unmodified, which translates into a clean opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez, and again for this clean opinion. And we are at a much better place where we started many years ago. So thank you so much. And of course, Mr. Cantu, Mr. Hernandez, and everyone that's part of our financial department. I know we strive to get to this day where, audits make sure that they're on time, they're clean, and we've gotten there. So thank you, Mr. Cantu, and to your staff, chief, and everyone that's part of this. Excellent work. And the numbers speak for themselves. Very excellent, positive numbers. So excellent work. So thank you.
I just want to add, Mayor, also that the EDC, I know everybody's always concerned about the EDC. That one also had an increase of $259,000, which brings up their fund balance to 2.4. I know Mr. Hernandez didn't mention it, but I know you're always concerned about that one. So that one also had an increase. I want to say thank you to Mr. Hernandez because he always works under pressure. He does a lot for the city. Our staff, my staff in the finance department, they did a great job. We're short-staffed all the time, and as you know, there's new things coming in for the city. The city's growing. Mr. Hernandez, they do a hell of a job in helping us get through the audit and making sure that we get it on time. So I want to thank him and thank all my staff and the finance department for getting everything done.
I agree, Mr. Cantu, and again, thank you to your staff, but also to Mr. Hernandez. I know a couple years ago when he came on board, we were behind 2 or 3 years on our audits, and I know since he's been on board with us, we have not been late once. And thank you, Mr. Hernandez, for your hard work and keeping us on task and keeping us, I guess, to date with all these finances. I know it's a lot of work, but again, with that being said, I know we made it a point to make sure we increase our fund balance every year to get us to where we can, in case of an emergency, we have some monies, to hold us down, hold the fort down. And so I want to thank all of you guys for doing a great job and again, keeping this fund balance, as we increase and our city grows, we continue also to grow our fund balance, which is an excellent news. So thank you.
And a lot of this growth is due to the commission as well.
Yes,
so we want to thank you
for
making our job a lot easier. The money is spent wisely every year. You're always concerned about what needs to be done, and we're not spending money when things that don't need to be spent on. So that's the main reason why we have a fund balance where we have right now. So,
well, we can say that it is at historical high. I mean, this is the best fund balance in the history of Rio Grande City, and that's bodes well for everyone. Everyone that's part of this, the commission, the staff, the directors, the employees, Chief Castillo, and everyone that's part of this. This is a team effort, and I'm glad to hear and see that we're there. So excellent. And again, Mr. Hernandez, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Ahorita, Mr. Hernandez, give us a second. Anything else, Commission?
No. I just want to share in the mayor's remarks and Mr. Ramirez's remarks, and I want to thank you, Mr. Cantu and Mr. Hernandez, Every year that I've been in this commission, the numbers keep getting better and better, and it's all due to all of your hard work, and we are truly appreciative of everything that you do for the city.
Thank you.
So, anything else in closing of this section? Excellent news, Mr. Hernandez. Excellent. In
Thank you,
fact,
Mayor.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I want to applaud.
You know, hey, when you make history, you know, it deserves an applause. So again, we all made history. I mean, again, all of us are part of this. So yes, that definitely deserves an applause when you're considering the figures and where we're at. Such a positive number is excellent. And it's one of those where, hey, I know we don't want to toot, as they say, toot the own horn type of thing, but nonetheless, it deserves it because there's so many people involved with this. And again, $2.7 million fund balance, and where we started to where we're at today. And then you see all this development that's happening around us and so much positive news. Again, it's excellent to see and be part of this transformation and renaissance in a way. So yes, that deserved an applause. I'm glad you brought it up. I was like, should we bring it up or not? So thank you. Appreciate it, Mr. Thank you. I know earlier we talked about the autism, and I see here Mr. and Ms. Martin back here. Which, Mr. Martin, go ahead. You have the floor. Mr. Martin.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Come on in. You can come up here.
Sorry for an interruption.
No, not at all. I know we talked about it earlier.
This was going to be like a big meeting, and we thought that it was going to be like a smaller meeting, but we just want to take the opportunity to present to you a certificate of recognition, of appreciation, just to be part of the 2022 Autism Leading Star County Awareness event that we had. A great outcome. You know, it was awesome. It was almost 1,000 people gathered there, very well organized, and everyone united in the same emotions and feelings towards our kids with special needs, specifically autism. So thank you so much.
And in fact, go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Nos sentimos muy honrados, muy agradecidos con la ciudad de Rio Grande, en especial con usted, Mayor. Le quisimos aprovechar esta ocasión para traerle un reconocimiento por la ayuda que nos ha dado durante todos estos años y siempre ponerse la camiseta de nuestros niños y personas con autismo. Eso lo apreciamos de corazón, y gracias a todos y cada uno de ustedes, Héctor, todos los que fueron parte y que aportaron, cada uno tuvo una aportación. Yo sé que cada uno se toma decisiones aquí en esta asamblea, y pues todos siempre están en favor de ayudarnos, y eso se los agradecemos de mucho corazón, y queríamos darle este presente, Mayor, por tan buen corazón y pues por ayudarnos siempre.
And thank you, Mr. and Ms. Martin. No.
Thank you so much for everything.
Let's all take a picture here. We'll come down here, because this really is for the whole commission. Commissioners, you all wanna?
Oh, we'll stand here in the...
Ready? 1, 2, 3. And take another one. Over here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
Thank
you. Gracias, y pues
Thank you. It's
no
good
tenemos
interruption.
cómo pararles.
You know, but I do want to say, I know I already said that earlier on Saturday, but thank you. Thank you all for being part of it. In fact, you all were the ones that put this type of event together. And 1,000 people coming for an event like this. And it's great to have individuals that give back for our community, that volunteer their time for an effort for different causes. And it's excellent to have, you know. So it was a phenomenal event. I know we were part of it, as part of the city, but you all were really the ones that drove this whole event together, which which is excellent for our community. So thank you both, and to all the families that were there. And it's something that we need to continue to promote as far as acceptance and what can we do as a community. And I cannot say that enough about you all being part of this, and not just being part of it, or being the ones that drive it, which definitely we need more of. So,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We just do whatever we feel we need to do for our gathering and for all the kids from here, from Rio, and all the community coming together. So it is a beautiful and very emotional and educational event. So thank you guys for being
Y
part of
gracias
it.
por darnos la importancia, ¿verdad? Porque si usted no nos diera la importancia, no pudiéramos hacer grandes cosas en Rio Grande. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Mayor, there needs to be a motion to accept the audit on the last item.
So returning back to item 6A, we entertain a motion at this time.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the audit by Commissioner Olivares, second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next, returning back to item 2C, approval of departmental travel requests, and item, I guess we can consider both, right?
Yes.
Item 2D.
Well, 2D.
Well, no, let's start with item 2C, and then we'll go back to item 2D. So item 2C,
Yes, we have the fire department and finance going to some continuing education for those two departments in this upcoming month.
entertain a motion at this time.
I so move.
I second.
Have a motion to approve item 2C by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Escobedo. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Unanimous vote, passes. Next item is 2D, discussion and possible action to approve several contracts, purchases, payments for several departments, each not exceeding $50,000 or triggering the Texas procurement process.
Yes, Mayor, these are two pay applications for half and also five-star Clark Construction. And then the other one is some I think it's Taser for the police department. They're all here. If you need to have any questions, Ms. Baez and Assistant Chief Solis are here to present those.
The only question I had, Ms. Baez, on that lift station, Garcia's lift station by Garcia's church, I believe. What's pending there? Is that complete 100%, or are we
It is
missing?
running, sir. It is actually on AP power, and we had a startup. It worked well. We had staff there, we had the contractor, we had the engineers. No, they're present here. AP finally gave it its permanent power. The only thing that's missing is the fence.
That's what I was going to ask, the fencing around the
That's
lift
it.
station there.
I know that the engineers were going to do a walkthrough, kind of give a punch list. This is the payment. He still has another payment and also a retainage once the project is accepted by the state and the city.
Okay.
So we're good on that. It's been so long on that lift station.
Yeah, it took a while,
With
but yeah.
Melissa, I said, we
Right.
need a ribbon cutting there.
And by when are you estimating time to do the fence, the fencing of it?
He's got to the end of May. That's when his contract ends.
Okay.
But I think he was already getting his quotes ready so he could get the fencing.
The pavement was done when? Because I know the pavement was also pavement. There was some
They
pavement there.
did some pavement.
Uh-huh.
Each lift station has a driveway, so they can have access to maintain it, so there was paved also.
Okay, just recently, correct?
I'm sorry?
Just recently?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any protective barriers in it, Ms. Baez, as far as, I don't know, whenever I pass through there, it just seems like there could be a car just going straight into it. And is that even possible or no?
It could be. We did acquire that property, and I guess some concrete balusters can be put in. I know the engineers here. They are fenced so that there's no vandalism. They are part of a warning system that they can provide to the foreman on his phone if something goes off. But as far as traffic from the highway, we could have to ask TxDOT. If it's on our...
Is that even a suggestion that we could, because, you're talking about almost $500,000 investment, and there's so much traffic going through there. What are the chances? And again, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here.
No,
It did get moved, so that helped from being right on the corner.
Right on that corner.
So by moving it, that helped a whole lot.
Or maybe putting more lighting, I don't know, just something when considering the traffic that goes through there to minimize any potential impact on it.
Correct.
Just
Okay.
considering something on that note.
We've got a meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and that can be discussed, so we can bring it up before the project ends.
And the fencing will be what, Ms. Reyes?
I believe that is, we were looking for cedar, but I believe it's going to be hurricane fence. You want speed cedar, we can get the
Yeah.
cedar.
No, well, my concern is just beauty or an eyesore. I would hate to see an eyesore there.
Yeah.
What do you all think, Commissioner?
I know in the others we have hurricane fence, I believe, but
There's
I mean,
fence.
cedar would be nice too to kind of cover that lift station there, just for aesthetics, but
Aesthetics, yeah.
yeah.
We'll see if as long as there's no blocking when people are trying to turn, and if there's no blocking, we can tell the contractor tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please let us know.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes.
And the other item, there's a correction, it's not the tasers, it's watch our cameras, and then there's a an invoice for the fire department on one of the trucks that they got fixed. So if you have any questions on the watch our, that's a grant that we got awarded, and it's a cash match to that.
Okay.
Mayor, Commissioner, good afternoon. We got awarded, I'm glad to say we got awarded a grant that we applied for. This grant allows us to purchase 20 body cameras for our officers. Anything technology, after a while, wear and tear starts going down. So our inventory right now on body cams has gone low. So with this grant, it does help us to purchase 20 body cams. The total cost for the 20 cameras and the items that come with it is $22,100. The grant pays $16,575 of those $22,000. So the department would pay $5,525 cash match.
Chief, I had a question for you. So are these cameras issued to that police officer individually, or do they get checked out as they come into their shifts?
Right now, since it's only 20, we do have a little bit more officers out. So as they come in and out,
check it out.
They'll be
check
sharing.
in and out.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for insurance. Okay.
This is item 2D, right? Yes. Is there any other things to discuss on item 2D?
There's just a mechanic invoice for the fire truck. The last one.
Oh, sorry.
And the rest of them will be.
And you will be discussing that too.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna mention it.
Okay, okay.
This time, do we entertain a motion?
There's one more.
Okay.
There's one more, Mayor. That's a mechanic bill for the fire department. They had one of their units that they have been having problems with, and
Okay.
that's the payment for that one for the mechanic shop. And that truck is still having problems, so we're looking to see where we're gonna do that one, because it's an older model
It's
truck.
an older,
Yes.
how old is it?
Oh, it's
2005?
Yes, it's a one that's I think it's a brush truck that they use for everything, so.
Is it a Ford?
It is a Ford, it's a diesel, it
It's a
has a
F550,
motor that's about
yes.
5 years. They've had to replace that motor before, I think it's been on defective.
2008. Okay.
The invoice is 2008.
2008, yeah.
And we have the other brush truck, the big one that we just received, so we're gonna probably wait a little bit on fixing this one.
Okay.
So it didn't work even after they fixed it?
They did this and it did not work either, so I don't know what the issue is with the motor. But I think if we redo the motor, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. We're probably gonna wait for the next budget. We already have one of the trucks working, one of the brand new ones, so I think we could wait on that.
So they did this and it didn't work?
No, it did not work. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, or do we entertain a motion at this time? Oh, and by the way, I know the fire department, I know Commissioner Escobedo was part of it. No, we gave some of the surplus equipment. How did that go?
It went well, Mayor. There was representatives from María del Carmen, which is la ciudad de Camargo, Tamaulipas, and they were very grateful and thankful for thinking about them. And it's so important that we share that equipment with our sister city. And they were very excited. You could see it in their face. And in fact, they even sent me pictures with some of the volunteers, and they had their gear on. And it's like they had brand new toys
Good.
for them.
Excellent. And that whenever we can help, and of course, helping our sister cities, by all means. And I know we've issued out equipment throughout the years, and we'll continue to do that. Of course,
Definitely.
we have the opportunity.
Yeah.
So thank you for being.
Oh, my pleasure,
part of
Mayor.
that.
I so move item 2D. Mayor.
Okay. And, okay, so we already did item 2C, right?
Yes. 2D.
All right.
Yes.
So this is item 2D. We have a motion to approve item 2D by Commissioner Escobedo. Second was Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 3, ordinances, letter A, second reading and possible action approving ordinance number 2022-5, amending ordinance 2006-4, specifically section 4110, restraint of animals, to be in compliance with recent Texas legislative requirements and providing for an effective date.
Yes, Mayor, this is the ordinance that was put together for the last meeting, and nothing has changed. It's gonna, as to the last reading, so we recommend it to be approved.
Okay.
As is.
Any questions, commissioners? Are we ready to entertain a motion at this time? Okay, we have a motion to approve item 3A by Commissioner Ramirez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes
It also
unanimously.
requires a record vote.
Okay.
So Mayor Villarreal,
Yes, in favor.
Mayor Ramirez.
In favor.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez, Commissioner Flores,
In favor.
Commissioner Olivares,
In favor.
and Commissioner Escobedo.
In favor.
Okay, motion passed.
Thank you. Next item is 3B, first reading and approval of ordinance number 2022-6, amending previous ordinance 2021-B related to mobile food vendors.
Yes. I think, were they going to move this into executive?
You know, yes, on this one, if no one objects, we'll move this item to executive session.
Okay.
No objection? No objection. No. Move item to executive session, item 3B. We'll come back. Next item is 4, letter A, discussion and possible action on the engineering proposal evaluations to select an engineer for the water treatment plant rehabilitation and East Water Loop Engineering Design and Project Management, RFQ number 2021-02. Bess?
Mayor and Commissioners, I believe you all have in your package the tabulation of scores. These were advertised in the Monitor. We had, I believe, 3 firms submit their proposals or their qualification statements. They were scored and references were requested from the list of references that each one of them provided. And we had, I think, SWG, we had Half and Associates, and Guzman and Munoz. Now, this is for, their services will include to seek out funding to do the feasibility, environmental, renewal of the permit, and advise the commission on the feasibility of rehabilitating, gutting, or redoing the plant. So that's what they're going to be looking at. And then from there, depending on the agency that funds it and the plans are approved, it will go forward for bidding.
Can you explain that again? So we don't have the grant approved yet?
There is no funding for this.
So we're going out on bids to.
Part of
go
their
out for-
scope of work will be to secure funding,
Okay.
whether it be from the new infrastructure bill, from Texas Water Development Board, rural utilities. They're going to seek out the best funding for this water treatment plant.
What are we looking at more or less as far as the total cost of the project? Do we have an idea,
Last-
more or less?
Well, when we look also at trying to do for the river pumps, if you all remember, the river pumps are the old ones that are near the wastewater treatment plant. I believe it will go up maybe probably in about 7, 8, 9,000. 7 being the lowest amount, but I believe with today's prices,
9,000 or 9 million?
I mean, I'm sorry, 9 million. I wish it was
So we
9,000.
can cover that, 9.
No, 9 million, 9,000.
Okay,
No, 9 million, sir.
okay.
And as you can see, the scoring, SWG, half, and then GM.
So after you select, then we move forward to negotiate a fee.
Okay.
So we determined that SWG by the number of points, or is that the point system? Yes.
That's the way they were, yes, that's the way they were graded, but yeah, very,
Didn't
very
we-
close.
Very, very close.
Do you have those, Ms. Garza? Do we
Yes.
have those?
It's all in here in the packet.
So we
where-
should put them in the front.
Right, but as far as our scores,
Yes, they're in here
Right
also.
there.
They're in here as well.
Beginning.
Number 146.
right, no, but as far as the actual sheet that we had for all the.
Yes, they're all in
that-
here. All of your scores that you turned in are all in here. These are the ones that you all scored, the one? Is that the one you're talking about?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Okay, where are they at? Because I can't see mine. I'm
Those
trying
are
to
the-
go back to,
The yellow and blue.
Right here. This is Commissioner Flores.
Aquí está el dinero. The first one. You want it?
First one,
mine.
yeah.
This one's yours. The difference that we have there in the point fours that you see, they had to have references, right, Ms. Gals?
Yeah, they each provided at least 5 references. The reference score sheet was submitted to every one of their references.
okay, and there's, I guess, something to, on this, if no one objects, I would like to move this to executive session. This item? Any objection?
That's fine.
All right, let's move this item to executive session, which is item 4A. Next item is 4B, discussion and possible action to approve the purchase of a pipe hunter trailer router through the buy board funded through the 2020 CO bonds.
Yes, sir. The router that the PUD has right now is really non-functional. It actually poses a hazard to our employees. This is not the Vector truck. This is one that they pull with the trailer. I know that we sent some photos. Melissa, do you want to look those photos? And I also have Leonel Garcia III. He is one of our crew leaders who spends daily on those water and sewer leaks. He's going to give an explanation on some of the defects that it has and why it's kind of dangerous to keep on using it and what we're looking at in the new one. Go ahead, Mo.
Good evening.
Hello, sir.
I'm just gonna pull up the pictures so you can see the router that we use. Well, that we used to use. That's a new one we hope to get.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yes,
This is one of the old ones.
yes, that's the one that we have.
You have a picture of another one, right?
Yes.
What is the function of this machine, sir?
We use it to unclog the sewer lines from our customers. And also when we have a manhole that's clogged, That's what we use it for, to unclog the manhole.
Okay. So
And-
what's the difference between that and the truck?
Well, the truck, actually, we can use it for that, but the truck, we use it mainly for the water leaks. And it's difficult when we have a water leak and we're using the truck, and then we have work orders coming in for, customers has their sewer line clogged. So it's kind of hard that we just have that one truck, the VACCON, using for the water leaks and unclogged sewer lines. When we used to have this router that we would use, but as you can see, it doesn't function as well. It's already conked out on us a couple times. And how Ms. Beth said, it does pose a hazard.
How
And,
old this is again?
excuse me?
How old is it as far as?
I think I've been told that it's at least 20 years old.
Yeah, I think
So
we need a
this-
new one. It's about time.
Yes.
Fully depreciated.
All right, I guess it served its function.
Yeah. It
What
has.
power does it have compared to, what is it as far as?
The Vector truck,
suction does it have?
the Vector truck that we have, that we use, it has goes up to at least 3,000 pounds of pressure. And that's what we use for, like, when you have a clogged sewer line from the manhole. And this, I can tell you, does not give us that much power. We're afraid to give it that much power because, anything can happen, and we don't trust it as much. So we haven't used that in a while. We just use a VACCON. And how I said, just having that one VACCON, we have 3 crews for just one VACCON doing water leaks and unclogging sewer lines. I had told Ms. Baz that I think we need to upgrade and at least get a new one, a new router. And this is one of the new ones that Ms. Baz was thinking of getting.
This was part of the COs, right, Ms. Rivera? We had already
Yes, sir.
included this as part of the COs.
We did check, Finance Director and I, and it is budgeted in the COs. This is on the buy board, so we're doing a pretty good deal with that. It actually went down from their regular about $3,000 by using the buy board. And I know that the Vector truck, the reason they use it mostly with the water leaks, we have so much underground utilities that anytime, especially a fiber optic cable or wire is cut, it is expensive up to $40,000. So what they'll do is they'll hydrojet, until they expose it. No longer can we just go and start with the backhoe. So that's why sewer clogs like we that one the day before yesterday at night, they kept calling, there was bad sewer around Austin Street and Old South. If we have this, then more clients can be attended with their sewer, being backed up.
Mrs. Baez, on the old one, does it get traded in, or what are we gonna do with the old one?
We'll probably auction it off, sir.
Okay.
We'll probably auction it off because they will not, they can't use it.
What kind of warranty comes with this machine?
I believe it's there on the package. There's certain parts that have 5 and certain parts have 3.
How many, 3?
Yes.
3 or 5?
But if the other one lasted 20 years, you figure that it should. I hope that even though it seems that some of the new equipment lasts a little bit less than the older ones. True. Especially washing machines and dryers, it appears like, I don't know.
And cell phones. Don't last.
All right, any other questions? Or we entertain a motion at this time?
Second.
Have a motion to approve item 4B by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by
Thank you,
raising your
Commissioner.
right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is item 4C. Receive a report, hold a discussion, and provide staff direction on a new street name to connect FM 755 to the port of entry.
Yes, Mayor, you have a memo there from Ms. Guillen regarding the naming of that street and what they have in consideration for that. And I think Ms. Guillen is here if you have any questions on that one.
Yeah, and just going back to the memo in International Drive, seems appropriate for the function, which of course is the port of entry. And there's no doubt where it's headed. So if people want to go through there, they know they're headed in the direction of that, so.
I like the name.
Now, do we entertain a motion at this time?
I so move, Mayor. Item 4.
C?
Yes.
Have a motion to approve item 4C by Commissioner Escobedo, second by Commissioner Olivares. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 4D, discussion and possible action to approve a purchase of 10 hoses for the fire department's new fleet of trucks.
Yes, Mayor, the fire chief would be here, but they have a house fire they're attending to. So they're requesting to purchase some fire hoses for the brand new trucks that they need to equip some of these and some of the old equipment that they have. And the total cost is $9,560 to purchase those hoses. And this has already been, it went through finance, and he said we have the money for it. So we're requesting that this would be granted through the commission.
And it's actually 20, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry, yes, it's 20.
20.
There's a typo here, correct.
Two different
There's 20.
sizes.
Two different sizes, yes.
Correct.
I move that we approve this item.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve item 4D, and just to make that note about being 20 hoses, right?
20
Yes,
hoses.
it's
10 of,
10 of 5 foot and 10 3 foot.
okay.
Or inches, I'm not sure if it's feet or inches.
Yeah, in the invoice, it tells you there, it's 10 5-inch Yale nitrates and 10 TJ yellow rubber liners.
Okay. So we have motion by Commissioner Olivares,
Second.
second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Passes unanimously. Next item is 4E, discussion and possible action to approve a website redesign proposal for the city's web and page.
This was Sarah.
Mayor and Commission, we are considering an update to the website. The last time we did an update was around 7 years ago. So we were contacted by the company that we have right now, which is Revise. We've been with them for over 10 years now. And they met with myself and Eddie, our IT specialist, and showed us some of the different options that they have now. I did report to them some of the issues that we have with our current website. They have a lot of new designs that I think will be more versatile and better used by our citizens. We did seek other quotes just to get an opinion on price, and the difference was with Revise, they're just moving our information to the new website as opposed to going with a brand new company. They'd have to start completely from scratch. So obviously that's going to be a different cost, but for the annual cost, Revise is still a lot cheaper. No one got even close to what they were charging us. So my recommendation is that we continue with the company that we have right now, Revise. It will be a process. It's not something that's going to get done overnight. They'll work with us for several weeks on working on moving the information, what we want moved. Maybe some things are already old, we don't need them anymore. Right now, one of our areas of concern is our forms and documents area, because it has every single agenda for every single department. So that's something that I told them we really needed to separate into individual departments, city commission agendas just on one page, EDC agendas on a separate page. We have Main Street, we have museum, we have planning and zoning, we have several commissions and advisory boards, and all of those forms and documents are there in addition to our planning, permits, our employee application. It's all together on one page, so it's time to separate that information. And we also have other sites that we use, like iWorks, the payment options for our water bill, so somewhere where that's in a better location for our residents to find. And also, since we've been working on the newsletter, we wanted something on the main page where we could set up something like a storyline, a blog, so we can highlight some of those things that are happening in the city too. So they did give us that option as well.
Will they be able to pay their bills online or
Yes,
through
right
the
now,
website?
right now we have that option, but it's a little bit hard to
Confusing.
find, right?
Okay.
So we want to make that more accessible,
Simple and clear.
larger, and simplify it. Also to find our commission agendas, the calendar, and all that good stuff. And so right now, a big part of the website that we have right now, it pulls information from our Facebook, our Twitter, So I don't think that's needed anymore. At the time, we were really trying to promote our social media pages, and now we have a lot of traffic on our social media pages and not on the website. So I don't think that that part is needed anymore, and those areas can now be better used to promote the bill pay, our iWorks, reporting concerns. The citizens can use the webpage to do that as well.
Okay.
I agree as far as the public to be able to go on their webpage and access any information that they require. And the same thing, whether it's permits, whether it's the planning and zoning, whether it's just information in general, and have easy access to it. Our financials, public works, you name it. And as far as making those citizens' requests, that's important that when they click on that citizen's request, that they're able to make their request online. And maybe instead of being at the bottom of the page, maybe that should be one of the first menu items, the cities. That way they can find it right away and goes back to user-friendly to where it's very easy to access the information. So, all right. And you're working with the departments as well to see what their needs are and making sure
I haven't
that-
started working with them yet, but
Okay.
I will, because like I mentioned, this will be a process, so we can report on some of the progress and show you all different designs, and you can help us select a different design. So this is just so we can get started
Okay.
with the planning phase.
All right. Do we entertain a motion at this time?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 4E by Commissioner Ramirez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. Next item is 5 contracts and agreements. Letter A, discussion and possible action to approve the financing agreement with First Western Equipment Finance for a Trimble R121 Model 60 row with accessories. That was a mouthful. Go ahead.
Ms. Diaz?
Go ahead, Ms. Vela.
So at the last meeting, you all approved as a Trimble, and this is for the mapping of all the utility lines. And so we were able to get some financing. This is the financing that the vendor uses. Been working with the finance director with it. He recommends that we do 3 payments, annual payments, and they come out to $13,838.70 per year. And of course, the buyout is $1 at the end of the 3rd year. And so this will bring us, like I say, within centimeters of where the lines are. I know we've been doing a lot of the fire hydrants, manholes, of course, the lift stations, each of our facilities. Once we have all of this on the correct GPS, then they can be provided for all our critical infrastructure to AEP so that we don't get turn off in a blackout or rollout of the grid.
So who's that being charged of doing all the mapping?
We have right now Rene Zarate. He's been taking some classes. He's training with the GIS, and they will provide the training as part of this proposal. They will come down, they will show him. This is actually like a backpack, and it has like this antenna, and so that's why it's very precise. This is a tool used by surveyors, so our mapping will be top of line.
So all the information will be uploaded to a program, then we can create the maps to be able to identify all the lines? throughout the city?
Actually, it will be uploaded and it'll put on the GIS on a shapefile, and then you layer it, whether it be an aerial. It's not a CAD. It's not like a drawing, the engineers, but it can be converted with the GPS points. This is for the mapping.
So, great. Entertain a motion at this time.
I move to approve item 5A.
Have a motion to approve item 5A by Commissioner Flores, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion?
Thank you,
All those in
Commissioner.
favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Veas. Next item is 5B, discussion and possible action to approve a contract with BLG Management LLC Group, Grupo Signo for music and audio equipment rental services scheduled for or on July 2nd, 2022 for the Freedom Fest.
Yes, so with our committee, we have a committee of Freedom Fest. We solicited different prices for different groups, and we felt that this group provided us a package, because this is the musical group Signal, along with Chris Perez, and they'll be providing the stage and the equipment. The stage is the same stage that we had last year, but the equipment is different. So the manager of Signal actually has the stage and equipment, so it's something that's approved by them. We're still seeking another group. We just got the contract in today for them, but they'd be playing beforehand. So this is the contract. They did ask for 50% upfront, but we lowered that a bit, and it's for your review.
And Freedom Fest is every year gets bigger and better, so this year's not gonna be any different. It's gonna be even bigger and better, so really looking forward to that. So we entertain a motion at this time, Commission. Or any other questions from Ms. Hernandez?
How much did we pay for the performers last year? Was it close to this amount? Or do you remember?
For the, it was more.
It was more than this?
Yeah. For the stage and equipment, because we rented that separately. So we rented the equipment
So
separately.
this is for everything, for the staging and for the performance?
This is the stage,
For one
this is
performer.
the equipment, and this is the two groups, which is Chris Perez and Signal.
Because typically you get the music, but then you have to go out and buy, or rent the stage and so on. And in this case, it's for the group and the stage.
So there's
in a sense, we're renting it
like
from
a
them.
turnkey operation,
Right.
as it were.
Yeah.
And then you just bring in the other groups.
Yes.
I move that we approve it.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5B by Commissioner Olivares. Second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Commissioner?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I was looking at the next item, too, sorry.
Motion passes unanimously. Next item.
You're the one that put it up.
All right, item 5C, discussion and possible action to approve an agreement between the City of Rio Grande City and the Pony League for the use of Basilio Villarreal Park.
Yes, so we were approached, myself and Frank Eguias here from Parks, by the Pony League to use the Basilio Villarreal to host the Pony League games. I asked what Pony League and versus Little League, but apparently it's the same thing. It's not differences in ages or anything like that. They had a lot of kids waiting to play last year, but due to COVID, they started the games. I think they got to play a few and didn't get to complete the season. So they're really looking forward to coming back. They started taking registration, so they've had a good response with that. Myself, along with Mr. Castillo and the city attorney, discussed pricing, charging them to use the facilities, because again, the use of the light, the use of the concession stands, they are bringing some equipment with them to help the city cover those costs. So the plan is to charge them $1,500 a month. We've already discussed this with them, and they're in agreement, and we're bringing it to you for approval.
And legal already looked at this?
Yes, they're the ones that made the contract. I just need to get the start, and it was dependent on the meeting, when we're going to schedule the meeting, but they're ready to start on Monday if this gets approved today. And they're asking to use the park till the end of July.
The end of July?
Yes.
And you said it was
And they're
how
going to
much?
work on a tournament for us for the Freedom Fest as well.
And just to cover the expenses there, we're looking at, was it $1,500?
$1,500 a month, and what we did is we looked at the light bill that we received during the last Freedom Fest, when we actually had a softball tournament, because the lights that we use on the field, they are pretty pricey to have those on. They're planning on using the park 4 days a week. On 5 separate dates during that time span, they'll be hosting a tournament where they will be charging at the gate. It's part of the Pony League, and that happens in all the other locations, so they can't do it for free here and charge everywhere else. So that was also something to take into consideration when we were discussing the fees. Also the use of the concession stand. So that's where they make revenues. I did ask them what they were paying when they were doing it at the county park. So we tried to do something similar. Again, we know that they want to start the program back up from it being dormant. They've even offered that after this year or the next year, they would love to hand it over to the city because they have a lot of parents that have their kids that want to play, so they don't want to end the program.
And they're responsible for their own insurance?
Yes, they get insurance for the kids, and that they collect because they charge registration and they provide them the helmet, and they also cover their own insurance.
What about cleaning?
They're going to be in charge of cleaning as well. Picking up for the most part, I mean.
Yeah, just basic.
Yeah,
And
the city
also
should be
the-
responsible to maintain the field, correct, and mark it
Maintain.
before every game?
They're going to maintain the field, but they're going to provide the chalk for the lines.
Yes, they said they would provide the chalk and they would mark it and everything.
Okay.
They will also mark it?
Now,
If
just,
they
go
need
ahead.
help, we will help.
Yeah, but as far as maintenance of the
Yeah,
field and all
we'll
that,
maintenance and everything.
they'll just
grass.
mark the lines.
Yeah.
And on the, as far, you mentioned that there might be charging to go in, or?
On
do we-
5 separate dates, when they host tournaments, they have to charge, they have to charge
They
it.
have to charge.
It's part of the agreement with Pony League.
Okay, and just to be clear, how are we gonna differentiate between people that are gonna use the park for, let's say, skating versus going to the field?
He says more or less they already know the people that go out and they wear uniform and everything, so they'll be there.
But, and whether it's, I just don't want to get to the point where you have some people going to go play basketball or do the skating and then they're being charged to.
Yeah, as long as
How
they
do we-
mention that
Just make
they're
sure we
going
work
for-
out all those details, because if not, we're
Correct.
gonna have some concerns later on.
Right.
You know, especially if it's on a Saturday or whatnot, so just something to consider. How would we work that out, chief? You all will work out the
We'll work it
details?
out. They could
All right.
do the bracelets or something.
Yeah.
We'll figure something.
I move that we approve item 5C as discussed.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5C by Commissioner Olivares, second by Commissioner Ramirez. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is 5D, discussion and possible action to approve the purchase of 4 Ford Explorers for the Police Department from Holiday Ford Defender Supply. Mr. Chief.
Mayor, Commission, we're requesting approval since it is a big amount. The funds for this is actually coming from Operation Stone Garden, so it would not cost the city anything, but we just need approval to get the ball rolling. We would be getting 4 2023 Ford Explorers. I did contact Holiday Ford or Defender Supply, the company they work with, and they actually have a shipment coming in and they were willing to pull aside 4 for us to get the process going quicker. They are part of the Tarrant County Cooperative Buying Program, which we are part of as well. So that would meet all our requirements that we need.
Now on this, do we consider local?
All the local ones don't sell police package
These type of
vehicles.
packages,
Yeah.
okay. Just to be clear that they don't sell this package and that's where we're going elsewhere.
Yeah, and then from my understanding, they're not part of any buy board here locally. So it is becoming very hard to get. We're moving to Ford Explorer due to the fact that Chevrolet Tahoes are probably going to be available till December. And we need to get the units in and reimbursements by February 28th of next year. So that would be cutting it very short.
Too close.
So this is the reason we're switching to Ford for this grant.
Sure. Well, I was referring to Ford here.
They're not part of the buy board and they don't sell any
The
police package vehicles.
And again, just to make that clear, I mean, as far as
Yeah, we
keeping
don't want
it
to exclude the local business, correct?
Right,
Good observation, Mayor.
so thank you.
I move that we approve the item as presented.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5D by Commissioner Olivares, was seconded by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 6, City Manager's Report, letter B, discussion and possible action to approve a memorandum of understanding between the City of Rio Grande City Library and the MHP Salud.
Hello, good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. We've been dealing with MHP Salud for about 7 years now. They're a nonprofit organization, and they help us with people that need help finding insurance, affordable insurance, or sometimes people need translation with different forms, and they've been helping us with that. They come to the library once a week, and they've also attended most of our programs that we have. So it's a mutual agreement that we've had every year. I mean, that's coming before you. And we already had legal also look at the MOU. It doesn't require any money from us, and we don't take any money from them. So it's just a service that we help each other out.
We entertain a motion at this time. Have a motion to approve item 6B by Commissioner Olivares.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Flores. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes.
Thank you. And Mayor, and I just quickly wanted to point out, this is National Library Week. I hope that you all have an opportunity to come and visit us. And we're going to be having a couple of things for the school district. We're going to be attending the first family movie night. It will be next Thursday. We'll be passing out books and book bags and bookmarks. We're also going to be attending some of their career days for the elementary schools. So we have a good relationship as always with them. We have our Dia del Niño coming up, May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. We've got already several vendors up for that. We're going to have the high school mariachi also entertain. Other entertainment will be some drill teams and cheerleaders. So that's going to be on a Thursday, on May the 5th, starting at 5 o'clock at the Verial Park. And one last thing, while Sarah mentioned the website, the library also has revised, and they also reached out to us about changing our format in the website. So by next month, I will be presenting that for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is 7, planning letter A, discussion and possible action on final approval of the Spring Valley subdivision.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. As part of the planning package, all these items have been recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission of March 17 meeting. The first item, Spring Valley subdivision, that's what was going to be Las Villas del Rio Phase 2 right here to the south of us where the townhomes are at. There was a secondary phase.
Just to be clear, excuse the interruption, all these items, you'll be talking about all these items, right?
Yes.
A through F?
Yes.
Okay, so if no one objects, we'll consider all items 7A, 7B, 7C, D, E, and F this time? Okay, no one objection, we're considering all items here.
Okay.
Go one by one, Mr. Millan.
Okay. This one is for final approval. Las Villas del Rio Phase 2 was never recorded. The infrastructure was there, the street was there, the improvements were there, water, sewer lines, etc. But the new owner decided to do a separate subdivision and have single-family homes. So it's now separated by the fence and gates, so it's a total separate development that it's probably going to continue southbound. But for this one, it's been inspected. Everything is in order, it's ready for final approval.
And it was approved by Planning and Zoning, correct?
Correct.
You said all items here. Okay.
The Woodlands Ranchettes Phase 2, that's within our 5-mile ETJ. That's for ranchette use. Serviced by, what is it, El South? El South? Yeah, and it's for preliminary only, so we still had to have improvements on, and comments have been addressed by the engineers, and they're here in the audience also if you have any questions. Okay, Oak Hill subdivision. This particular site is north of Live Oak subdivision where former water district was at. It's the north side right now. It's vacant, it's abandoned. There's a lot of illegal dumping in that area, but now it's going to be developed into single-family homes. So again, this for preliminary only. Vista del Norte Phase 2, this is just to the rear of the DPS office, well, Medina Electric, north of Medina, I'm sorry. So it's Phase 2, it's residential use, it's serviced by Real Water Supply, and again, preliminary only approval at this point. Los Alba Cortez Phase 2, this is on the 755 country estates. This twin subdivision to phase one. It's all the improvements have been done, it's ready for final approval. This one. The SMT subdivision, Rio Grande Land subdivision, that's a single lot, commercial. Well, light industrial is for energy cells to be located at that site. Even though there's no need, there's a fire hydrant there outside of this property. This is going to be an unmanned lot. Again, it's for light industrial. It's only one lot. It's here for the formality of doing a subdivision process.
It's solar panels.
I'm sorry?
It's solar panels, right? It's for solar.
Yes, solar panels, yes.
And again, just all these items were already reviewed by planning and zoning.
Correct.
They were all approved, and there were no issues.
No, not at this
or
point. There was
concerns.
going to be an additional subdivision, but because of issues that it was incomplete, it's not presented here.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Milan, or at this time we'll entertain a motion?
Sir, I'll move to approve items 7A, B, C, D, E, and F as presented.
Have a motion to approve by Commissioner Ramirez and second by Commissioner Flores. At this time, is considering item 7A, 7B, 7C, 7D, 7E, and 7F. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Milan.
You're welcome.
And thank you for always bringing good news, sir. More and more development.
Well, it'll be, because it was this month, the new permits are going to be on the next meeting. But now you know Chick-fil-A's got a permit.
Yes. Keep them coming, sir. Keep them coming.
We're working on the final comments for Wendy's, so it should be coming anytime, any day between here and next week, probably.
Perfect.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Hey, that deserves an applause. Yes, sir. When you consider how much growth, it's incredible. It seems that every month we're talking about new developments and new growth, and it's exciting to be part of this. So excellent. Thank you for bringing that up. Next item is 8, executive session, chapter 551, Texas Government Code, section 551.071, and section 551.07 for personnel matters. At this time, it's 7:04 p.m., and we're headed to executive. All right, we're back from executive session. It is 8:49 PM. And at this time, there's an echo somewhere. All right.
No, it's his.
We're returning back to item 3B, first reading and approval of ordinance number 2022-6, amending previous ordinance 2021-8 related to mobile food vendors. Commissioners?
Yes, Mayor. I move to approve the first reading, subject to adding the change in selecting the historical downtown district as a mobile food vendor-friendly area.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Flores, second by Commissioner Olivares. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously.
And this needs a record vote as well.
Okay,
Mayor Villarreal,
favor?
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez,
In favor?
Commissioner Flores,
In favor.
Commissioner Olivares,
In favor.
and Commissioner Escobedo.
In favor.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Next item is 4A, discussion and possible action on the engineering proposal evaluations to select an engineer for the water treatment plant rehabilitation and East Water Loop engineering.
Yes. Okay, Commission, after reviewing the summary scoring sheet, there were a couple of errors in the summary sheet that didn't accurately reflect the individual scoring sheets submitted by the committee members. So the summary sheet now reflects the scores originally submitted, and the highest ranked responder is half engineering.
Okay. Any further discussion on this item?
No, sir.
Now, do we entertain a motion at this time?
I so move, Mayor.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve, and it was item 4A.
4A, correct.
As per the summary tabulation, or correcting the errors there, by Commissioner Ramirez, and second by Commissioner Escobedo. And on that, Victor, are we good with the motion?
He's not on there anymore. It's
Mr. Garza's on there.
Pepe.
Mr. Lopez?
Yeah.
No, Mr.
It's Mr.
Garza?
Garza.
Yes, Mayor.
So are we good with that motion, or do we need to make any
You
change?
also need to clarify who you chose on
Okay.
on the motion, that you're choosing half associates.
And it's based on, again, the summary tabulation, which has half at 687?
687.
687 compared to 66,
0.8.
7.8 and 57.5 for GM. SWG was at 66.7.8 and half is at 687.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else? So we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Ramirez, second by Commissioner Escobedo. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. And moving on to item 9, letter A, no action. Letter 9B, no action on those. And at this time, any other announcements before we conclude today?
No, sir.
No? Okay, do we entertain a motion?
Adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Olivares. Any second? Second by Commissioner Flores. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned. It is 8:53.
Thank you all for staying.
Thank you, everyone.